Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Good afternoon. So this was highly requested. I know I've been covering Love is Blind. Yesterday was our day off. It's just, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm gonna miss Love is Blind when it's officially over with, but I still have season 6. So I get to go back and watch. But I feel like I've left some of y'all hanging. I haven't really been talking about celebrities. I've been just covering Love is Blind. So I was just like, let me go ahead and talk about this. Um, it's crazy. Oof. What before I even get into this, right? I want to make it known that Kash Doll is a grown woman. She has free will. She can make her own choices and decisions. But recently, this is why people be like, Yanni, you gonna vlog? Hell no. No. I don't want people in my business. I'm very private. I don't want people in my business. And this is why. Because I don't want to be a think piece on the internet. When you don't want your business to be a think piece, you don't share it. Okay? Like you keep it, you keep it, tight, lit. You don't share. Everything don't need to be talked about. Everything don't need to be said. You know what I mean? So people be like, you gonna vlog? You gonna do? No, 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 no. I don't want to be a think piece. It's really that simple. So Cash Doll did this interview, and the internet is kind of divided, and I'm here for it. So on one hand, people are like, oh, this is beautiful. He loves her and her natural. And then on the other hand, people are like, oh my God, this is so manipulative. This is controlling of him. So I had to go look for the actual interview because I wanted to see what was really said. Because, the internet, sometimes y'all be reaching. Sometimes y'all don't. Sometimes y'all be accurate and y'all get it right. Sometimes y'all be reaching. So let's see. Is the internet reaching? Hold on, not this video. Hold on. Oh, here it is.
A few other things you're known for outside of your music is just being, because you're not really in the mess. Like, you're not in the mess. You don't really have negativity surrounding you, but something you're known for is being that girl.
Okay.
Hair is always laid.
I like being that girl.
You are that girl.
So what about it? Let's talk about it.
Being that girl, hair is always laid.
Thank
It's
you.
always fitting. Jewels are always jewelry.
Yeah.
All of that. And I was just saying, you're like a natural beauty.
Oh, thank you.
Like your
Thank you.
bare face, like
I
your
really
real
appreciate
hair,
that.
all of that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
My man do not want me to wear no makeup.
I was gonna say, because people have been saying since y'all got together. Don't worry, we gonna get to him. But people have been saying since y'all.
I'm big on word choices. My man don't want me to wear makeup versus my man doesn't prefer me wearing makeup. You get what I'm saying? But we're gonna go a little bit deeper. Okay. Prefer, that means he's letting it be known, like, hey, I prefer that you don't have to wear makeup, but ultimately it's still your choice and decision. My man don't want me to, that changes the narration for me. Okay. Because I had to go look it up. I'm like, are y'all reaching? I think it's the way Cash Doll said it. Now, did he say it this way? Or did she take it this way? Did he say, hey, I love you in your natural? and then she came on social media and just said it like this, you never really know. You never know. You never know. But let's continue.
Got together, you've been like bare face, real hair. Is that accurate to say that since you got together you've been embracing that more? Or
Well, I always embraced it. You know, I know, well, I'm not conceited or anything, but I do know I look good without it.
Right.
You know, I'm confident within myself, but I just know, as an entertainer, that's a part of my routine. Get your hair done, get your makeup done, look all the way polished.
we're gonna get another shot soon, but I want to play a quick game real quick.
Okay, so to me, I'm gonna be so honest with you, and this is coming from someone that just does YouTube. I come on social media, I just do YouTube. The reason why it's a red flag for me is because Kash Doll is a brand. Point blank, period. Kash Doll is a brand. If you are in the business of entertainment, if you're in the business of being a public figure, then you already know your image, your look, how polished you are plays into how you make your money. It is a part of your brand. Your appearance is a part of your brand. You know who is, and you have to also understand that Kash Doll is competing in the rap game with female rappers. Cardi B, if you look at Cardi B, and I'm just using her as an example, okay? She understands that it's a part of her brand. Why do you think Cardi B gets so many opportunities when it comes to fashion? Because that is a part of her brand. Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, hell, even Doja Cat, JT, the City Girls, everyone knows that it is a part of your image, it's a part of your brand. Glorilla, she was being pressured by her record label to get a BBL. She decided to go to the gym instead. She compromised a little bit. She got a nose job and she got her boobs done. You get them. It's not even just makeup. Like, some of these girls are out here getting their body done because they understand that that is the industry that they are in, and that comes with the industry. Even me as a YouTuber, people want me to come on social media with a look. I even understand this. So for me, it's a red flag only because as a man, if you're going to date me and you understand that I have a business, I am a household name, and it's called Kash Doll. When you think of a doll, what are you thinking of? When you think of a doll, what are you thinking of? So that her changing her image is going to impact her brand. And see, this is why it's a red flag for me, because I'm just like, when you start to change yourself for a man, would he do the same for you? And would he do the same for you when it involves money? That's what a lot of the girls are not understanding. It's not, and listen, Cash Doll has always been natural. That's what was so like off-putting for me. It's like she's always been the type of girl, like, yeah, she's in her glam. She even started the trend where she was doing that 90s blowout. She was doing like that whole, and it was like the girls were getting the quick weaves and they was trying to get the layered look. I forget what that style is, but she started like a whole trend with that. And it's like, I don't know if it's like a Detroit thing. Y'all gonna have to educate me, but I love the look. It's bomb. And she started that. Cash Doll is known for her hair. Okay, you got girls going to their hairstylist saying, hey, I want to get the Cash Doll look, I want the Cash Doll hairstyle. That plays into her image, that plays into her business. She is competing with the rap girlies. If you're not bringing it, then you're probably not being talked about. So Cardi B I feel like she's done a really good job of understanding that. That's another reason why she creates these elaborate music videos where she's always changing her hair and her looks and things like that. Cardi B has mastered that. She's always going above and beyond to give the girls a look, not just putting out music, but giving the girls something that they can be inspired by, that would make them want to listen to the song more. And it's not just music, but it's also like the looks that come with the songs that she releases. That is huge. And listen, Kash Doll has already been that girl where you see her in her natural. She's showing off her length and she's showing off how healthy her natural hair is. She also was the girl before this man was the girl that would walk around barefaced from time to time. However, when it was time for her to make an appearance, like doing an interview, she was put together and now she's not. One thing that I also want to mention, the last time that I saw this from a R&B singer who married a producer who was going to red carpet events with no makeup. She hasn't released an album in years. My father is like, when is she going to release another album? And I'm thinking like, damn, the last time I saw her, she was on the red carpet barefaced and her producer husband was standing side by side with her, barefaced, with no music to promote at all. I don't think this has anything to do with makeup. I don't. I don't think this has anything to do with makeup. I don't think this has anything to do with feeling empowered. I don't think it has anything to do with that at all. Because a woman can be empowered at home with you with no makeup on and her hair not done. She could be empowered with her hair and her makeup done. I don't think that matters. My concern is Kash Doll was already doing the natural look. She was already doing it in her spare time when she's with her kids. She was already doing that shit. Why is it that she gets with this man and now she has to extend it further when it comes to her brand and her business? Even when it comes to Be Love, right? She's a lady that eats on camera. She started her lock journey. And when she started her lock journey, her views started to go down. They started to tank because Be Love, she would come on and she would have her wig, she would have her hair, she would have her makeup done, she would have her nails done, and she would eat on camera. It made her a lot of money. It branded her as well. But when she took on the lock journey and she went natural, her viewers were not feeling it. Okay, you should have saw some of the comments. The comments were just crazy. But she created a brand with the wigs and the nails and the makeup. So even though she was taking on this lock journey, which is great, right? She's embracing her natural hair. She's embracing her bare face. She's basically wearing less. It still hurt her business though. And a lot of the girls are wanting to focus on the personal aspect of what she said, but I'm more concerned about the business aspect of what she said. A man would not change anything pertaining to his business and his money for a relationship at all. And when it comes to personal life, Kash Doll, when it comes to her kids and her being around the house, sometimes with her even just leaving the house, she was already doing the bare face. She was already doing the natural hair. But now when it comes to her interviews, and her being seen publicly, she has to extend it further. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So for me, I'm going to have to agree with the internet on this one. I am. I'm going to have to agree. And the reason is because it's business. It's not personal. It's literal business. And when you are a public figure, when you're in the entertainment industry, your look it helps you pay your bills. Like that's just facts. And it will hurt you in the long run because it's harder to brand yourself when it comes to brands, endorsements, when it comes to opportunities. Why do you think content creators are always hurrying up wanting to promote a product that they're using? It makes the money. It's part of the business. It doesn't matter if it's a female rapper, a celebrity, an actor, an actress. It doesn't matter if it is a OnlyFans girl. It literally is a part of the business. It's part of it. And see, when we look at a man that approached a woman like Kash Doll, who already had a name for herself, why go in and feel the need to change her public image when it comes to her brand and her business? What's the reason for that? What is the purpose behind that? I need the girls to think seriously. What is the reason for a man that you met and they met you as Kash Doll, a female rapper? wearing makeup and weave in public, not in your spare time when you at home with your kids, but in public. And then he comes in and he wants to change that. He wants to change how others are seeing you. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. I don't care how the girl slicing and dicing. It's weird as hell. It's weird. There was nothing wrong with how she was showing up publicly and then how she was showing up when she was with her kids. Honestly, I felt like Kash Doll had a really good balance between glam and natural. We're talking about a woman. She's not the type of woman where you'll never see her in her natural hair. This is not the type of woman where you'll never see her without makeup. We've seen Kash Doll without her makeup in her hair. But when she made her appearances, when it came to her business and her brand, we saw her glammed up. I always felt like Kash Doll had a healthy balance. We're not talking about this is a woman where she's so insecure that you will never see her without a wig on her head. That is not the case. Kash Doll has always been proud about her natural hair. She has always been proud about her bare skin. That's why it's weird to me. But let's see what the internet has to say.
So apparently fans have noticed something different about Kash Doll since she's been with her new man. It's been noticed that she hasn't been wearing any weave, hair extensions, or makeup. She says her new man doesn't like when she wears that and he likes her natural. Well, a lot of people are saying that that's a red.
And again, doesn't like. When a woman is wearing her makeup and a man says doesn't like, so that means you don't like her. When a man says I prefer you in your natural, that means that okay, I like you in your makeup, but I actually prefer you in your natural. There's nothing wrong with that. But when a man says I don't like when he met you wearing makeup, like that's weird. I'm sorry, that's weird. And yes, men play these mind games, ladies. They play these mind games, right? And they try to make it seem like it's not a big deal, but it is. And the wording is important. It is very important. See, a lot of women it's gonna go right over your head. I don't like, but he met you wearing makeup. I don't like, but he met you wearing weave. So he didn't like you when he met you? Make it make sense. Now, if he would have said, I prefer, then that means, okay, I like you, in your hair and your makeup, but I actually prefer you in your natural. And that should make a woman feel good because then you don't feel like you always got to be dolled up all the time. But when he says, I don't like,
flag. They just didn't agree. And I'm like on the fence. I don't know. Is it a red flag? Is it not? Because I've had a guy say this to me before. Did I change? No. But I think it's flattering. I just feel like if you met me a certain way, then why are you trying to change me?
But I could even understand if Kash Doll was the type of girl where her makeup was heavy, it was ugly, it just wasn't attractive at all. Kash Doll don't even wear heavy makeup. And then even before this man that she started dating, she didn't always wear makeup. She didn't always wear her wigs and her weaves. She only did it when she needed to make appearances, when she was branding herself. What is up with men getting with women? Because I seen this with Nelly too when I was watching the reality TV show. You're getting with a woman that has a polished image or has a certain type of image where when they present themselves to the public because it's a part of their brand is to look put together. And then when you get with them, you feel like, oh, it's doing too much. It's a part of their brand. It's a part of how they make their money. It's a part of how they make their appearances. What is up with that? Even with Alicia Keys, it's weird. Y'all don't think that's weird? It's weird to me. It's weird to me. And then another reason it's weird is because, again, Kash Doll is not the type of woman that constantly wears makeup and lashes and weave all the time. So I could understand if this was like I don't know, like one of those women where it's like they feel like they can't be seen without a wig on, or they feel like they can't be seen without a bare face, or they can't be seen without their nails done. Cash Doll don't act like that. At all. Like Kash Doll don't act like that at all. And then Nicki Minaj, she's the same way. When she's making public appearances, she gives the girls a look. It's a part of her brand.
Let me be who I was when you met me.
So I don't know. It is a red flag to me. But let's get into people who did not agree.
I don't like when y'all make think pieces on people who y'all have no further context on. Or when y'all try to make think pieces on certain celebrities that you've never followed a day in your life or you've always had some type of bias against. I saw some context on here. Sorry, not context. I saw a few think pieces in regards to Kash Doll saying that her boyfriend doesn't like makeup and things like that. He prefers it more natural. And a lot of you were, going through these think pieces where you're like, oh, he's controlling, he's this, he's that. But I want to acknowledge the fact that you could have never been a Kash Doll fan, because those people who've followed Kash Doll for years would know that Kash Doll barely even wears makeup and things like that in her, free time when she's not performing.
Exactly. So if he likes her and he accepts her in the way that she is, right? Which means at times she wears makeup and weave and at times she doesn't. Why is this even being talked about? Why did she even feel the need to say that in an interview? Why? She was already doing it. She didn't always wear hair. She didn't always wear weave and makeup. So what's the point of her even, what was the point of him even saying that to begin with? That's what I want to know. So this shouldn't even be it shouldn't be a topic of conversation is what I'm saying. If the woman wasn't wearing makeup and lashes and weave all the time, his input should not have ever mattered, because this is who she presented herself to be. Period. So it shouldn't matter. And listen, most men who like you are going to say that. But when they start to interfere with your public appearances, that's when things get weird to me.
If you follow Kash Doll or have been following Kash Doll for years, you see Arkeisha is always walking around barefaced, giggling, just being her natural self all day long. So it's amazing to me that you guys to get on here with all these think pieces, making it seem like this guy is some type of controlling freak, when in reality he's just embracing something that she's already embraced about herself, and she's acknowledging the fact that he's also making her feel seen, because she feels most beautiful when she's her natural self. It's like sometimes sometimes it's like it's right there in y'all face and y'all will go around it to come up with your own narratives, and I don't like that.
I honestly feel like it's the way that she worded it in her interview. It didn't seem like it came from self. It seemed like it came mainly from him. So it was the way that she said it. And again, I question, did he actually tell her that verbatim? Or is that how she internalized it? Because those are two different conversations to me. So it just depends. But Kash Doll, to me, she's always had a healthy balance between her natural versus her glam. So I don't know. Let's see. What else? Let me see. Is it this one? And then we saw her here. Which honestly, I thought this was very appropriate considering where she was and who she was with and how she was dressed. I felt like this was appropriate. I didn't see anything wrong with it. But again, I felt like Kash Doll has always done this. I don't feel like this is new. I really don't. Let me see. What was the other one?
We've been seeing a lot more of Kash Doll's natural hair recently. She went to an event, a NASCAR event, where she wore her natural hair. The humidity did a number to it. But we've also seen her do an interview without makeup on. In that interview, she said that her boyfriend prefers her to not wear makeup. And there are...
Girl, that is not what her boyfriend said. Her boyfriend said, I don't like you. See, Even she is like preferred. So that's what I'm saying. It really depends. Did he just say I prefer you with bare face? Because that changes things for me. Or did he say I don't like you? Because if it's I don't like you, that comes across as controlling. Preferring, that comes across as that's just what I prefer, but ultimately it's still up to your choice and decision. So that would change things for me. So I wonder how he actually said it. And this is why I'm big on privacy. I'm big on privacy because it honestly, we don't know how the man said it. We weren't there. Like if we just being honest, we weren't there.
A lot of opinions about that on the internet, as there always are. And we're kind of exploring that on 2190. But I'm curious from those who are partnered and have a relationship with someone who has a preference about your physical appearance, how do you actually handle it? And I'm not saying someone who is like foot down, you should never wear lashes, or foot down.
I just don't understand why this is a topic of conversation. If this is a woman that's used to wearing her bare face, right? Why did her man even get inserted in the conversation at all? Why does his opinion even matter? We not dating Cash Doll. He's dating Cash Doll. We don't care. Like honestly, that's how I see it. I'm like, I don't care. It shouldn't be a big deal.
I never want to see you with makeup on. Obviously, like that's not healthy. But if you are partnered with someone who said, hey, I kind of prefer when you wear your hair curly.
You see how she keeps saying prefer, prefer, prefer. That's why I want to know. Like, how did he actually say it?
How much stock do you give that? How much do you take that into account when considering your own physical appearance?
How I would take it, like if a man say, hey, I prefer you more in your natural, right? I would feel valued and appreciated for my natural beauty. But ultimately, when it comes to me, my business, my brand, and how I make my money, I'm wearing makeup. I wear makeup in my YouTube videos. I don't wear makeup every day. Sometimes I come on here with makeup on and I wash that shit right on off. I don't wear makeup every day. I don't wear makeup 24 hours around the clock. But I also understand that if I'm going to brand myself as a public figure, I know what comes with that. And I'm very much aware of that. So everyone is going to be different. I feel like Cash Doll is in an industry that is very competitive. It's part of her professionalism. It's part of her branding. It's a part of the fact that she decided to label herself a cash doll. When you think of a doll, you think of glam. So if he met Cash Doll, but he also met a more personal version of herself, I don't see anything wrong with him saying, "Hey, I prefer you in your natural," right? Because I feel like honestly that should make a woman feel good about herself. Like if a man is preferring you in your natural, it should make you feel good. However, if you know you're making money through your appearances, then you need to make sure that you're keeping up with your business and your brand and your public image. And what I'm starting to see is oftentimes, and it doesn't matter if this is Halle Bailey, Ashanti, or any of these girls that get with men and then their whole brand changes. That's when things start to become a red flag for me because he shouldn't, if you had your business and your brand in place before you met him, it shouldn't be changing anything beyond that. Seriously, unless you decide to. Another thing too is for me when it comes to Cash Doll, it's kind of hard to tell if this is drastic or not. Because I'm not like a fan of hers. Like I don't follow her on Instagram or daily. What to me is I like transitional change, and I said the same thing about Britney Renner. I said the same thing about Alexis Skyy. I like transitional changes. I don't like sudden changes. Sudden changes to me come across very inauthentic. Gradual change to me comes across as like I'm gradually changing because I'm evolving. And to me, Angela White, she did a gradual transitional change. But when it comes to Cash Doll, I really don't know. You know, I don't follow her. I don't really keep up with her like that. But I have seen her across my timeline on more than a few occasions with me not even following her, that she's very proud of her natural bare face. She is very proud of her natural hair. She has never been one of those female rappers where it's like you never see her in her natural hair, you never see her without her makeup. And I can't really say that that's the same for other people. So I don't know. I don't really get that from her. I think it's the way in which she worded it in the interview that came across like, oh, he's controlling. But again, I wonder if that's how he said it. He may not have even said it like that, but that's how she repeated what he said. And so he may not have said it like that. So far when it comes to him, I don't know, he seems very supportive of her public appearances. He's always hyping her up when she's performing. I mean, I haven't really seen her drastically change because again, I've seen Kash Doll bareface with no weave. So I guess it's just one of those situations where only time will tell. Alicia Keys, I would feel like that's a bigger red flag in my opinion because that's a woman that has changed a lot and she just stopped releasing music and she's married to a producer. So I don't know. Britney Renner to me was a bigger red flag. Alexis Skyy was a bigger red flag. Kash Doll, I'm not really seeing it, y'all. I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really seeing it. But again, it just depends on how he worded it. I think maybe Kash Doll just worded it bad. But I don't follow them. I don't keep up with them like that. So y'all would have to tell me if you've seen like a drastic change in Kash Doll. Because then to me, I'm like, okay, maybe it is controlling. But this was drastic. And it was like overnight. That's why I was like, this is a red flag. And I get so Britney Renner, by the way, because the girls were DMing me. Britney Renner is back to her her regular program. I don't know. Do y'all see the difference though? Kash Doll always wear her natural hair, bare face, like it's really nothing, right? But Britney, that was so drastic and it was so overnight that I was just like, this is a red flag. Kash Doll is not really giving me that. Okay. Um, you see her with her glammed up. Some when she be with her kids, it just reminds me of like Carisha. Like when Carisha be with her kids, she don't be all dolled up and stuff like that. She taking them kids to school. She wearing a hat. Girl, she on the go. That's what Kash Doll reminds me of. Britney, this was like I just couldn't believe the internet fell for this. Like honestly, I'm just still shocked. Like, wow. I can't believe it. This is crazy. And she got her red nails. Ah. I don't how do y'all feel about Brittany Renner? Like I don't because everyone was saying, "Oh, yeah, her job it doesn't make you or break you when it comes to your faith." Uh this is very recent. Yeah, this is very recent. It's very recent. So, are the girls still defending Brittany Renner or what? See, I don't know if this is appropriate. I don't it's not just she doesn't have her hijab on. It's what she's wearing that I'm like, is that appropriate? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you can and cannot do. It was disrespectful? Is it disrespectful? I don't know. She's saying that she still is. That's what she's saying. I don't know. Um I don't it just contradicts the things that she was saying before. Like, oh, I don't have to show my body. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. That was the whole reason she was doing her try on hauls on her TikTok. So she was like trying to encourage other women to cover up. And then she pops out like this. So I don't know. I stopped keeping up with Brittany Renner when I told y'all that she was what was she doing? She was twerking and grinding on that man with the eye, the cock eye man. You know, when he be looking at you, but he looking over to the left and to the right. When she was on him, that's when I was done with Brittany. I was like, girl, I can't defend you. Like you are embarrassing. So Charleston White, yep. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I had to wash my hands because girl, you can't embarrass me. To me, I don't feel like Cash Doll I just don't feel like it's drastic enough for it to look like control. I feel like it's more so in the way that she worded it in her interview, but Britney Renner was control, and I peeped that because it was drastic. Alexis Skyy, same thing.
Christian stuff on my comments. Get off of my life. Like, first of all, y'all keep talking about being like. I'm gonna make this very clear. I love God. Okay, I'm like all this Christian stuff on my comments. Get off of my life. Okay, you go pray to God and go seek God. If you're so perfect, there's no such thing as a perfect person in this world. Like, y'all are weird. Leave me alone. Go seek God yourself. How about that? Because between whatever I do is between me and God. I don't need to get validation from none of you people.
I know a lot of y'all are not gonna like it, but I'm rooting for Alexis Skyy. I am. When it comes to her walk with God, whether she chooses religion or not, I'm rooting for Alexis Skyy. One thing that I do want to point out, when it's time for people to be Christ-like, y'all always fail the test. Always. And it just comes across as controlling as fuck. Like, honestly, it's very disappointing and it's embarrassing. All I wanted was for Alexis to be real and to be honest. Because I'm discerning. Like, I can see through the facades. However, now that she has been honest, she has decided to walk in her truth because it's not in the way that you feel like she should. It's a problem. When it's time for you to be Christ-like, you always fail the test. Always. And this is a woman that opened up about how she was struggling. So if she's struggling, what should you do? Encourage, show compassion, understanding, support, not get in her comments and bully and harass her because you feel like she's not doing it a certain type of way in the way that you feel that she should. It's weird. Like, it's so weird. I'm still rooting for Alexis. I just wanted her to walk in her truth and I wanted her to speak her truth. And now that she has done that, I'm not expecting for this girl to just be magically, I don't know, a saint overnight. It's not real. It's not real. That's what B. Simone is doing. And she feels like it's punishment because she's not allowing herself to grow. She's not allowing herself to transition and to evolve. She is forcing this on upon herself because she feels like she'll be rewarded a certain type of way. So Alexis Skyy decided to stand in her truth and she is still standing with God. It's not looking polished, or she doesn't come across like as this saint. So I'm still rooting for Alexis. I hope she continues this walk with God. The walk with God is not an easy path. It's definitely not easy when you come from a certain lifestyle. And so because of that, she's trying to work through old patterns, old addictions. She could even have current addictions. She could also be relapsing with these addictions. She, like, it's real. Like, I just don't understand. I like real. I don't like perfect. I like real. And I feel like when it comes to Alexis, she's just being honest. She's being truthful. Do you want her to come back on here like she was before in this fake Christian persona? Like, she's just, hey, I still love God. I'm still walking with God, but this is what my walk looks like. It's not the French tip nails with the bob in a cardigan sweater. Oh my God. So I just like see, this is why, like, people really feel like in order for them to give their life to God, like, they have to be perfect. And it's just not real at all. So I'm rooting for Alexis. I'm rooting for Britney, but from a distance. Like, girl, you need to figure yourself out. Seriously. You need, and I feel like Britney Renner, she's going through like some type of identity crisis. That's what it comes across more identity related. So she's just trying to find herself. But girl, she's such a wild card. I can't defend or vouch for her anymore. Like, she's just gonna have to from a distance.
All right, I'm about sick and tired of hearing that. Like, do I look like a? Let me not curse. Do I look like a nun to you? No.
I just want to know, like, what is Alexis supposed to be doing? Now, listen, just to be fair, she was out here, changing up her appearance drastically, which is why, for me, Kash Doll is not a red flag. But Alexis, you were out here, changing it up drastically, trying to play this perfect Christian role, and it backfired, right? And you had to come out and just be honest. But now that she's been honest, I just don't understand like why she's being further bullied though. That's what I'm not getting.
Aggie, like what? Chill. You're slow. How about that? Don't let me come in here and talk shit, because that's what I'm about to do.
I feel like her path now is way more authentic and genuine. It's just before I could fake. I could just spot the phony and the fake. But I feel like it's real now. I think y'all need to just back off. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Like leave that girl alone. So the reason why I'm including Alexis Skyy and Britney Renner in this conversation is because honestly, y'all, I think it's the way Kash Doll worded it. I do. I really do, which is why I mentioned it in my intro. I really think it's the way Kash Doll worded it. But honestly, I have not seen a drastic difference. It's not like she's walking around like a nun. It's not like she is completely changing when it comes to her brand. She's just wearing less makeup. That's all I'm seeing. It's just a woman wearing less makeup. That's it. But she's already been that girl. And that's what I need people to understand. Like Kash Doll has always been proud of her natural. She's always showing off her hair length and things like that. It's nothing new. My thing is, I think it's the way that she worded it. And for me, depending on how the original conversation went, I hope he said, I prefer you in your natural, not what was how did she word it again? Let me pull it up.
A few other things you're known for outside of negativity surrounding you, but something you're known for is being that girl.
Okay.
Hair is always laid.
I like being that girl.
You are that girl.
So what about it? Let's talk about it.
Being that girl, hair is always laid,
Thank
fits
you.
are always fitting, jewels are always jewelering, all of that. And I was just saying, you're like a natural beauty.
Oh, thank you.
Like your bare face, like your
really
real
appreciate
hair,
that.
all of that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My man do not want me to wear no makeup.
I was gonna
See, listen, my man don't want me to wear no makeup. I don't know. It's the way it was said. And like I said, how did the original conversation, how did that go? We don't know. We don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. It's the way it was said. So I get the girls that are concerned. I see you. And I understand why you're like, wait a minute. It's the way it was said that I feel like triggered women that may have had past relationships where men were controlling their appearance, their hair, their makeup. And yes, I have seen men get into relationships with women and start changing them. And it's just like, why did you get with her if that's not what you were attracted to? That's what I'm not understanding. So it's the way she said it. I'm just like, girl, I don't know.
say because people have been saying since y'all got together. Don't worry, we gonna get to him. But people have been saying since y'all got together, you've been like bare face, real hair. Is that accurate to say that since you got together, you've been embracing that more, or?
Well, I always embraced it. You know, I know. Well, I'm not conceited or anything, but I do know I look good without it.
Right.
You know, I'm confident within myself, but I just know, as an entertainer, that's a part of my routine. Get your hair done, get your makeup done, look all the way polished.
We're gonna get a.
So I don't know. Again, it was just the way she said it. So, and I can see like, and then I can also see from this point of view too. Like maybe he said that, right? And she was already very much comfortable in her natural. So she just does it less. You know what I mean? I think it would be more hurtful if it was a woman that was just always glam 24/7, like a Mariah Carey. Okay. I've never seen Mariah Carey a day in my life without glam. You know how Mariah is. She don't play about that. But Kash Doll is kind of like, it was really 50-50 with her. Like she was very balanced in glam and natural. So obviously, if you have a man, right, and he's seen that side of you probably more than we've seen the public, right? Because she's Kash Doll, she's a public figure. Then I can see him saying, I really love you in your natural. So again, it just depends on how it was originally said. But again, even if he did say it that way, would it be hurtful to Kash Doll if she already embraced her natural? That's what I'm saying. Like it's the perspective for me, and it's the wording for me. But I do understand women's concern because I have a story time about leggings. Okay. I had a man hide leggings that I was wearing to the gym, literally in a box in my laundry room. Didn't even find these pair of leggings until after we separated. And what was I doing? I think I was cleaning out my laundry room and I came across a stack of leggings that he hid from me because he didn't want me wearing them. And to be honest, I didn't even notice that they had disappeared because I have hella leggings. Like, I don't know how many pairs of leggings I got. I got so many. But these were the ones that were scrunchy or like in the middle. You know how it scrunches up, makes your booty look really good. And so I did not notice that they had went missing until after the fact. And I was just like, oh my God. So that's controlling, right? So again, if Cash Doll was already wearing her bare face and she was already wearing her natural, I can see it from the perspective of, okay, she's just embracing that more because that's what he likes. So is it really a knock? Is it really controlling if that's something that she was already embracing prior to meeting him? I don't know. You know, men are weird though. I'm not gonna lie. But the way she worded it in her interview, I see where people are coming from. I also see why there's a divide when it comes to this debate. Is he controlling? Is he manipulative? And honestly, I see like the fans are defending him because they've been rocking with Cash Doll for years. They've been a supporter of her for years. So they've seen her in her bare face and her natural hair. This is no big deal to them. But I've also seen how if you haven't been a big, long time follower of a Cash Doll or a big time fan, then you probably are thinking it's controlling and it's manipulative because of the word choice that she decided to use in this interview. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think down below in the comment section or in the chat box. I may take some calls here because do you have a crazy story time about how you found out that a man was being insecure in a relationship and he didn't want you dressing like this and dressing like that? Let me go ahead and put a link down here. Let me see. Let me know what you think because honestly, I can see it both ways. I really think it's the word choice that she used, but I don't think it's controlling because Cash Doll was already wearing her bare face and her natural hair. Maybe she's doing it more because she feels comfortable to do so because she has a supportive partner. I mean, who knows? I could really see it going either way. Did I play all of the videos? I guess I did. And yeah, I was like you know how the scrunches and yeah. Yeah. But honestly, y'all, it wasn't, I don't know. I have brothers, I have a dad. So it's just like they always doing the most when it comes to me. But I also have uh, I have a very curvy physique, like hourglass physique. So like, that's been my whole life, honestly. But I was just like, I did not know it was that serious that he would hide my leggings like that. So I don't know. It was kind of shocking. And it had to do with my trainer too. Like he made it about my trainer, and I'm just like, he mentioned certain things about my trainer, but I was just like, I'm not looking at that man like that. And he's like, it's not about you looking at the man like that. It's about him looking at you. And I'm just like, oh my God. I just can't do it. If you are a woman and you have a nice body, if you're a woman and you're beautiful and you wear makeup and you get your hair done, it shouldn't, like, men have to understand that it's not about the men, it's about you. Like, what type of woman are you? Because it's now it's coming down to a point where it's like, you're not trusting me. You should be trusting me. I'm with you. I'm not with these other guys that may be looking at me like that. But some men are too insecure to handle when a woman that gets looked at or gets admired for her beauty, her physique. So I don't know. It's just one of those situations where I've came to the realization that any man that I'm being serious with, like, they have to be confident. They got to be confident. They do. Because I get hollered at all the time. Like, honestly, all the time. All the time. So, and I'm not about to change. That's crazy. Caps, is that they care about you. They care about other men. Well, listen, these men are predators. So like, of course they care about the other men. Duh, the men are predators. Of course they care about the other men. Of course if they love you and they are protective of you, of course they're going to care about how other men are looking at you. Okay? So I'm going to just let you know right now. And when I was younger, I didn't get it. You know, I thought my dad was controlling. I thought he was trying to ruin my life. Like, honestly, until I got older and I started realizing that men are predators. That's why they go crazy. That's why. That's why. They know how men think. They know how they fantasize. They know how they sexualize just the simplest of the simplest things. And you don't have to do much. You really don't. You could be outside in some sweats with no makeup on. So that's why it's more so the man needs to be secure and confident in himself. Stop trying to put it on women because that's weird. Controlling us because you feel like you can't control other men. Why don't you tell men to have self control? I don't understand that. That's when things get weird for me. But I also understand how some men feel like because they don't have control over other men, they try to control what they can control, which is you. But I'm just like, that's just not gonna work for me. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know what that causes? Depression. Yeah, it causes depression because I like getting dolled up, but I also like being barefaced. So I need a healthy median. And that's what I'm saying. Cash Doll, she gives me that. Like she gives me a healthy median. Like, yeah, when she's out and she's making her appearances, when she's performing and things like that, she is glammed. But oftentimes when she's in mommy mode, she's in her bare face. She is natural. She's not wearing the weaves and the wigs and stuff like that. So I think she has a healthy median. And I think maybe she's just leaning into her natural because she has a man that likes it. I just, you know, yeah, I agree. So nobody wants to come up here and share crazy story time? I'm not gonna show your face. Nobody got a crazy story time? All right, well, I'm gonna log out then. Are you sure? Listen, my discernment be on point, y'all. Did y'all hear about that man? Rich and unemployed? My discernment, it be God, thank you so much. Really, like God gifted me with really good discernment, y'all. I will never forget when that man was trying to get me on his couch. That was the man that was trying to get me on his podcast. He was trying to get me on his couch, and I'm just like, hell no, I'm not coming on your couch. Hell no. You're not about to have me out here looking like that to your male audience, making it seem like we done slept together. Hell no. Drinking wine on your couch. You're not about to have me out here looking like that. So apparently, y'all, you didn't know. He rich and unemployed. You don't know how I'm talking. Let me go ahead and pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about. Because I was like, oh hell no. That's the man I was talking about. He reached out to me because I had went viral. I forgot when I went viral or what I went viral for. But this hold on, this is the guy I'm talking about. This is the guy I've been talking about. I was like, hell no. Do I look crazy to you? There we go. You are not getting me on your couch. Hold on. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I know the girls have stories.
For me, I can't the same amount of energy that it takes.
So his name was Finesse. And he recently got locked up for he scammed the government for $10 million. Damn. How the hell he do that? So his podcast was called Rich and Unemployed. I know you've seen this man go viral. Like at least on the blog site, on site, neighborhood talk, hell, maybe even the shade room, maybe spiritual word. I know you've seen this man on your For You page somewhere, but he got locked up because he scammed the government out of $10 million. And his podcast, his name, he went by Finesse, but his podcast name was Rich and Unemployed. So let me show you. Hold on, caller. Wait 1 second. I'm going to answer you here. Hold on, wait 1 second.
The same amount of energy that it takes to do any illegal activities, it's the same amount of energy that it takes to do legal things. I've been on both sides of the field, and I've learned that doing those type of things, you'll never really be comfortable. You'll really never be satisfied. And to have to look over your shoulder, that's terrifying for me. I can't live that life no more. So If you're seeing the same thing every day, like I hung around guys that wasn't about shit for real. Like all we did was talk about the same things. I hung around drug dealers, I hang around scammers. That's all we talked about. That's all I knew. But once I started putting myself in different circles, different environments, my mindset changed. The amount of money that I thought I could make changed. The same amount of energy that it takes to do any illegal activities, it's the same amount.
This was the content he was making and putting out here on social media, and then he got arrested for scamming again. See, he already went to jail for scamming. Now he's going back to jail for scamming. This time he scammed $10 million. It had to do with he opened up a business. He opened up a front business. So like it was a grocery store. And how he stole $10 million from the government, it had to do with SNAP, food stamps. So he was getting some type of funding or something like that, or I don't know how his scam went down, but he was getting some type of funding, or it had to do with food stamps. And so he had this grocery store, but he didn't have a grocery store. He even had a legitimate like website when it came, no, not website, address when it came to this fake grocery store, and put a location down and everything, even though it didn't exist. And so somehow he was able to get like some type of assistance through the government because of this grocery store. And it had something to do with maybe the pandemic and things like that. I don't know. So that's how he was able to scam $10 million. If you want me to do a breakdown reaction, because there are people out here doing a breakdown, I'm just like, that's crazy. But this was the content that he was putting out. It was to encourage people not to scam, to live a life of just going legitimate. And he was scamming this whole time. So I don't know. I mean, in this, people keep saying it's the right message, wrong messenger. I think it's the right messenger. Why does everybody have to be perfect with the message? I think it's the right messenger. You want to know why? Because he was living the life. He was living the lifestyle. He was living the lifestyle. So I think it's the perfect messenger. And it comes with a heavy lesson. Like, why would you scam the government? Like, that's bold. To scam the United States government is bold as hell. That's crazy. Okay, let me switch gears. Let me switch back to Kash Doll.
A few other things.
Okay. Caller, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to add to today's combo? Do you have a crazy story time?
Um, I do have a crazy story
Oh,
time. I'm 37 right now. This story was from when I was like, I want to say like 23 years old.
okay.
And so yeah, so it's been a little while. So I remember being on scrolling through Facebook one day, and this random guy had sent me a message, a private message on my phone. When we supposed to link up, I met you at the mall or something like that. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, so we ended up linking up at his studio and stuff. And we was chilling and stuff. I guess he do music or whatever. Back then, for me, it was cool to like know like the local artists or rappers or whatever, like where you live at and stuff. Because they used to have like local concerts and appearances at little clubs and stuff. But anyway, so I ended up meeting him at the studio. I remember he was playing his music and stuff, and everything was all cool. And I don't know what it was, but the thing that you said about discernment, so that's what made me think of this story because I'd never shared this before. But the more he was like showing me his music and stuff, and I seen that one of the photos that he was showing me was actually a picture with him and a friend of my baby father or whatever, and I was like, oh Lord, this is weird. So the more we get talking, the more we were sitting down talking and stuff, like playing the music and stuff. And I asked him, I was like, so where did you say you met me at before or whatever? He was like, yeah, remember you went to the mall last week and you gave me your number and all this stuff. And then I just started sitting there thinking, this is me talking to myself in my head. I was like, I wasn't at the mall last weekend for one. And two, if you supposedly got my number in the mall, why didn't you just call or text me? So why are you inboxing me? Y'all, come to find out, the later I was sitting there with chilling with him, he was coming on to me strong, like really trying to get in the act. And I'm like, no, I'm not. doing that with you. I just want to chill and get to know you since it's our first time meeting face to face.
Mm-hmm.
So I left there or whatever, y'all. Come to find out why my baby father was trying to see if I would sleep with one of his friends or something. And I'm glad I didn't do it because when he was telling me how we supposedly met, none of that makes sense. So yeah, it just brought me when you said the word discernment, and just having that intuition, it made me think of that story. I'm like, wow, my baby father really tried to set me up. Like that's just so weird and like creepy. Like, and then
What?
how persistent and stuff he was. It was crazy. I end up leaving. I end up going to my homegirl house and telling her what had happened with the guy. She was like, yeah. He told me you were supposed to meet up with one of his friends because she has a child by my baby father's cousin. So she kind of be hearing like the conversation stuff. And she said she overheard my baby father telling her his cousin, which is her baby father, like, yeah, he said that you was about to go meet up with somebody at the studio and all this stuff. So he knew. That's how I knew he tried to set me up, y'all. Like that is crazy. Like people are weird. I don't even know why
So
he would even try to do
so
that.
was like he was testing? So were y'all
Like it
together?
was a test. No, we were not together. No, we haven't been together probably like a year. So I was just starting to go back outside, just go hang out with friends, like go to hookah lounges and stuff, like, just get out locally and stuff. So I guess he didn't like that I, was really moving on and cut off communication with him. Now he tried to set me up to see if I would go for one of his friends. I was like, that is a dirty person because
So
what would be the point of seeing if I'm easy?
what do you think his reasoning was though?
I guess to see if I was easy or something, but I didn't fall for it because, like I said, the way the guy said we met, like I knew he was lying because I did not meet him at the mall.
Dang. Did you ever
It
ask
was
him what
crazy.
was his reason for doing it?
No, I never did. I just cut off all communication. I kind of regretted like hanging out with him because, like I said, I was young. I was in my 20s.
Or you muted yourself. You muted yourself. Dang, it was getting good too. I know I have more questions. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I may have to move on. I don't know what happened. Oh, the call drops. Damn. I wanted to see what was going on with that because I'm like, what was the reason for him doing that? But men don't be making sense sometimes, especially when they insecure. They don't be making sense. Caller, are you there? You muted yourself again. Caller, are you there? Okay, I'm gonna have to move on. Okay, I don't know. The connection got bad. I know, right? The cliffhanger. I wanted to see what the hell was going on. But no, seriously, when men are insecure, they do things that don't make any sense. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes. We left off with
Okay.
me asking you questions about what do you think his reasoning was?
Because he wanted me to like, I guess, still try to work it out with him, but I didn't want to. Like I had, like I The thing is, I realized like, yeah, trying to make it work out with somebody is not always the best thing because I met him when I was 16. So we already had like a long history of being together. And then we had a child together at 20, our first child together at 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reason I had broke up with him, I might as well tell you because you said a juicy story time. The reason I broke up with him was because he proposed to me, but then like maybe 2 weeks later, I found out that he actually married his homeboy's baby mama because she's an immigrant. She's from Africa, so he married her for $2,000. When I heard people be charging like 10,000, whatever, even though that's illegal. But anyway,
Girl,
he married her for $2,000, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, I know y'all not going to be messing with each other because they still live together. That you basically helping her get a green card, but I just felt like that's something he should have discussed with me instead of doing something that crazy behind my back. So yeah, that was like the last straw,
oh, oh, he crazy.
But he just tried, yeah, he tried to sabotage me. I
That's
had to cut that loose. You know, that toxicity, like just, ugh.
so. How is life now? Is it good?
Yeah, we're good. We're still good at co-parenting
Okay.
now. Cause my daughter is like 16, so you know this was a while ago. So
Okay.
she got her car, she's driving, she got her little job, working fast food. So yeah, everything's good. But
Okay.
even
Dang.
after that pain that man put me through and the secret setups or whatever he was trying to do, it's crazy because 2 years ago he actually was permanently injured. He got uh, sprayed in the head and survived. So right out in front of his apartment complex. Yes, yes, Yanni, this is all true stories. He lived, but now that happened, he's permanently disabled. He's partially blind. His left side is paralyzed. Right, because it went through the right side of his head and paralyzed the left side of his body.
Oh
So,
wow.
but you know, I've been there for him. You know, I even let him stay with me the first 6 months after the incident, just try to, you know, just be there for him because, like I said, I have his only child. You know, so I
Mm,
just try to make sure, you know, my daughter, you know, can spend time with him, help him recover. Like we was taking him to physical therapy, all this stuff, and it's crazy. But he was living a dirty life. He was into like selling illegal things, um, scamming all type of stuff. So I just felt like he was dabbling in too much, you know, wrongdoing that I feel like we
hmm.
kind of caught up to him. But
Yeah.
you know, I just look past all of that, and I just try to be there for him for the sake of our child. But yeah, he was definitely something to deal with. So
Jeez, girl.
yeah,
Crazy. That is so
yeah.
crazy. Well, I'm glad you and your daughter are doing good. So that's
Oh
good.
yeah.
But thank you for coming up here and sharing. I'm gonna move on to the next caller, okay?
Okay, thank you for letting me come up. And I love
Of-
your channel and I love you. You are so beautiful
Thank you.
and intelligent.
Thank you.
All right.
Alrighty. That was crazy, y'all. Ooh. Mo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, there
Can you
is
hear me?
there is like a slight echo.
Okay, let me take my Bluetooth off real quick.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I do have a story about like an insecure ex,
Oh, okay.
and this is like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Well, when we broke up, it was 2 years ago. But like subtly, he would start trying to suggest to me that, oh, like I like you better without your makeup because I used to get up in the morning, put on my makeup. I'm a fashion designer and I want to look the part.
Okay. Yeah.
And he would say stuff like that. I'm like, oh, thank you, babe. And he's like, well, why are you still putting on makeup? And I'm like, because I like putting on makeup.
Right.
And he would get visibly upset, but I didn't care. And so I would go on about my day, and eventually it would turn into small little, like, um, I would say like fabricated stories. Like he said he ran into my baby daddy at the store, and like he was hugged up on some woman. And I guess he expected me to like act out and be upset that my baby daddy was with another woman or something. And I'm like, okay, like, what what's the problem? And like, well, doesn't he have a girlfriend? I'm like, I don't know, I'm not in his business like that. The only time we talk is about our kids, and just like little weird stuff like that. And like when I would go to work, of
Hmm.
course there's men there, it's mostly women, but there's other men there.
Hmm.
And he'll be like, oh, like, is that your work boyfriend? And I'm like, no, I don't have a work boyfriend, I don't believe in those. And he would just get so upset. And it's honestly my own fault because one time I had had enough of these little digs
Mm.
that like he was just like, oh, like, no, I know you messing with him and da da da. I'm like, why? Because he has a job? Because he's at work? Because that's a crazy idea that there's men who work. I know. It's not, it
Ooh,
wasn't right,
what
but
did
it
he
was
say?
right.
Wait. So
He was
did
so
he not
upset. He's like, see, I knew it. Like, I knew you had a thing for, I was like, I mean, yeah, I like a man who works
does
and
he
you're
not
not working at the moment.
Ooh, bro. No, you didn't.
Yes.
Ooh.
Um, this I was like, what? I'm 34 now, so I was 32. He was 32 as well. And I'm like, we too old to be playing these games.
So was
I'm
he just,
like,
was him not like he was just out of a job temporarily and he was looking and he wasn't having no luck?
he was always out of a job. It was always something, quote unquote, happening at work. And
Mm.
I'm like, are you getting fired or are you quitting? Because it sounds like you're quitting because the checks aren't adding up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Like he did not like that I was clocking him. But the thing is like I had already dealt with my baby daddy. So everything he was doing wasn't nothing new.
mm.
So I ended the relationship. I think we were together for like a year and a half, only because I had made some poor financial decisions and he was stealing money from me. So I had to recoup my money. Yeah, I know. I had to recoup my money to get myself in a financially safe space so
Mm-hmm.
that I can just kick him out and
Mm-hmm.
get rid of him. And come to find out, I'm cleaning out all his stuff out of my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
This man had been doing cocaine.
Girl.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I know. I
That
know.
is insane. So when y'all met, how did he
Uh-huh.
how did he present himself?
Like he was taking me on nice dates. He was paying for stuff. We would go on nice little cute dates and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like I'm a big foodie and like he's Blasian. So he took me to all the like Asian food restaurants and putting me on to new restaurants and stuff.
Wait a
Like
minute, girl. Wait a
I
minute.
met his
This is not.
family.
Wait a minute. This is not a Tyrone.
No, he was Blasian. He was Blasian.
Oh, girl, this ain't a Tyrone. Woo wee.
No,
He's a man
I
though.
know. Who is it? Bourbon Bougie. Dust of comes in many colors.
Ooh wee. That's crazy. So he was whining and dining you in the beginning, and
Yes, and then the moment we actually became exclusive, all of a sudden he's getting into it with family, and he's like, "Oh, like, can I come stay at your place for a little minute until I figure out my next move?" And of course, I'm like, I mean, maybe we should end things here. And he's just like, no, like I'm just in a dangerous position or whatever with my uncle. And he's talking about like trying to harm me. Like, yes, I fell for the sob story. I let that man sleep on my couch and he never left. And like, yeah, he would go through my phone trying to see if I'm talking to other people. And yeah.
that is crazy. But you didn't do bad. You didn't do bad. A year and a half. That ain't bad.
Yes, a year and a
That's
half.
not bad for you to
I
stack
would
up.
say 6 months of those
Mm,
were me making my exit plan,
yeah.
because my last straw was him, like his mom and his stepdad owned like a car dealership,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to help me to get a new car. It was a
Mm-hmm.
nice car too. Like it was a black and chrome Explorer X XLT, fully loaded, all the accessories, all the like tablet paneling, all that. It was so nice. Loved it. Automatic start.
Girl, what did
Great
he do?
car.
Girl, what did he do?
Allegedly, because I don't know. Allegedly, he went to go put gas in it and it got stolen. Allegedly.
Girl, what do you think he did with the car?
I think because of me finding out him like in his drug addiction, I think
Mm-hmm.
he sold it.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
think he sold it. I think he sold it. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
And
Like
how
I can't make this up. I wish I could make it up, but I cannot. Like so many people, it's like you really need to write a book about your life because the stuff that you go through is crazy.
now did you get out of the situation with no kids?
Oh yeah, no, no, no. The only kids I have are from my children's father. I have two kids, and
Oh, that's a
I
win.
have an
Is a win.
IUD.
A win is a
Huh?
win. A win is a win.
Look. Oh,
So
and he tried. He tried. He really tried. He really thought he could convince me to get my birth control taken out. And I'm like, no.
That's
And
crazy.
like his mom was really surprised. She was like, well, we were just talking about planning a wedding. And I was like, yeah, we were, but no, he got my car stolen. He ain't helping financially. Like he tripping. No, he needs to go. And it was late at night. And she was like, well, I don't like that. I was like, well, he a grown man and I don't care. That doesn't sound like a me or you problem. That
Right.
sounds like a him problem.
Right. Well, I'm glad
I'm
you.
like, look, I don't know what you need to do. You can come get him, but he'll be outside. And yeah,
That's crazy.
I haven't heard from him since, which is great because I mean, well, I don't even know how he would contact me because he got blocked on everything.
But
But yeah,
presented himself? Did you
that's my crazy story.
when he presented himself? Did you think he was a bum or anything? Did he look like a bum?
No, no. The only thing I found odd about him, and I was getting out of my type and my comfort zone because I really love like chocolate men with the fade and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and like a little stocky. He was, high yellow, like curly hair,
Mm-hmm.
skinnier than I like, and I was just trying something different. And obviously he was ethnically different,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, he presented himself really, really nice, and it was just yeah, no.
Wow.
Like it didn't take that long for me to like lose attraction to him and starting to like back away from the relationship and like starting to make my exit plan.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Mo. I do appreciate you sharing your story. That is a crazy story time, though. My goodness. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
For the best of your Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye.
Ooh, that was a lot. Erica, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. You have a crazy story time?
A little bit, a little bit.
Okay.
I just wanted to first say that there's something especially dangerous about a man who meets you one way and then wants to undo everything that you are. You know,
True.
not like if you like a natural, why aren't you pursuing a natural woman? Why are you trying to take a woman who likes makeup, hair, and all that stuff, and then undo it? What is your motive? You know, what are you trying to do? It's a difference if you meet her in her natural state and then
Right.
you
Right.
find that she enjoys doing these things. Yeah, that's when you make your exit. But what are you getting? So, anyways, I met a guy and he was the same exact way. He met me all dolled up. He would even make comments about how his past women would not keep themselves up. That's why we say men don't know what they want. He would say how he loves that about me. Women in the past didn't keep themselves up, and you know, surely he would say like, "Oh, you don't need makeup. Like I like you without your makeup. Oh, I like you without. I
You going
love your hair. I don't like the.
you we lost you. Come back. We lost. It's a really bad connection. Now we can't hear you at all. Dang it. It was getting good. Okay, I'm going to remove you and I'm going to add another caller and we'll come back. Caller, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. What would you like to add to today's conversation? Do
Uh,
you have a crazy story
okay,
or
so I have a
an
story
opinion?
about a insecure ex, and it's a little bit of a cautionary tale as well.
Mhm.
So we started like dating, or you can't even really call it dating because we were like basically kids. So it was
Mhm.
maybe like seventh grade that I
Oh,
met him. So he was like just immediately very controlling. So but then, when you're a kid, you don't really know. Like, you're like, oh, he shows me a lot of attention. He like loves me, but you don't really know what love is at that age. So anyway, he used to start like a lot of issues whenever I was with my friends. So it would always become a big deal. Like, who are y'all with? Like, I don't like that girl. And he was saying stuff like, using terms like runner, like for girls who are, I guess, considered fast or something like that. So he'd be like, oh, like, I don't like that girl. She a runner. Like, you must be a runner too. And these are things that, like, I don't even know what they mean. So I'm like, no,
He was saying this
why
in
you
grade or this? I
yeah,
mean,
he texts me. Like, I'd be out with my friend and he'd be like, where are you at? Who are you with? And I'd be like, oh, I'm with her. And he'd be like, oh, like, she's a runner. I heard about her. And like, well, you must be a runner too. And I'd be like, huh? Like, what does that even mean? He's like, don't be stupid. Like, where you can tell that like he was maybe exposed to a lot of adult situations at his age, to where now he's like projecting that onto me. So she's a
wow.
runner, you're a runner. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. So then fast forward to eighth grade, he's like pressuring me for, you know, physical stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, if you love me, to this day where I have a lot of like, I'm married now, but okay, for context, I'm 28 now. So this was like when I was seventh, eighth grade it finally really ended in 10th grade. So
Okay.
yeah, so he always called me whenever I was out with friends. He would always make it clear that he doesn't trust anyone I'm around, and he'd like guess project onto me cheating and stuff like that. So one like a big situation that happened, well, not really big, but just something that showed me like, okay, this will be my life forever if I stay.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Oklahoma to visit my family, and at this time, I think I was maybe 14 or something like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
had called him off my aunt's phone because I didn't have service out there. So I called him and he didn't, I think he didn't pick up or something like that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He called back and my male cousin picked up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, we're like 14 and my cousin was my age too. So he's like, hello, who is this? And the guy I was dating at the time, he's like, who the F is this? F N word, you know what I mean? Like, and my cousin was like, hold on, like, who are you? So my cousin starts going in on him as well. Like, who is this calling my phone? And so my ex is like, where's Air? Like, who is this? Who is this? So I'm like, okay. So then when my cousin comes and tells me, I'm already like kind of heart beating a little bit fast because there's no way I can convince this guy that this is just my cousin and that I'm in Oklahoma at my family's house because, like I said, he had an issue with everybody. Like, a man could come up to me and say, hey, you dropped this quarter, and he would be like, who was that? Oh, I know that was, so it was just like nothing I could do to. So then fast forward 10th grade, and this is where I say you should leave somebody where they have you effed up at. um I was like going through his phone, I think,
Mm-hmm.
upstairs, about to take a shower. And mind you, my family, he was like really in with my family. Like, if I didn't go to school that day, he'd be calling me from the school phone, like, where you at? You didn't come to school today? Like, who's at the house? And I'd be like, oh, I'm at home. I'm sick. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, so school would get out, and here comes my auntie walking in the house, and he'd be walking in right behind her because he's called her and been like, hey, can you come get me? So it got to the point where I had to tell my family members, like, hey, if I don't ask if he can come over, or if you don't come to me and tell me that he asked you if he can come over, don't bring him. It got to the point where I had to be like, he called, hey, can I come over? And I'd be telling my mama, like, he'd be on speaker, and I'd be like mouthing to my mama, like, say no,
Wow.
because if I don't do that, he'd be like, well, she didn't say no, and it'd be like every time it would happen, like that he would come in the house unexpectedly because they didn't pick him up, it would just feel like my heart sunk because I knew it was going to be like, why didn't you go to school today? Or, and then, so then, yeah, 10th grade, I'm going through his phone, and he had texted, and I remember the day that like this had happened. He's texting with his friend, and he's like, um, LOL, I told Arista I'm walking to the store, but really I'm going to that girl's house. And what's crazy is the friend he was talking to, his number was saved as the boy's mama. So like if the boy's name is Artie, then the number is saved as Artie's mom. So I'm like, why did you text Artie's mom all day? So I'm going through the messages. He's like, yeah, I told her I was going to the store, but really I'm going to cheat with this girl. LOL. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, you constantly are on my back about cheating, about me being a whore and all this other stuff. And then here you are over here, thinking it's funny. So I go downstairs and I throw the phone at his head because at this point I'm fed up. I've been like victimized by you for years, and you've been like projecting onto me all these crazy things that I don't even think we should even be dealing with right now. But I'm like,
Girl, I
so I throw the phone in his head.
this is
I'm sorry, what was
all
that?
from this is all from seventh
Yeah,
grade,
yeah.
10th
It
grade.
started like seventh grade was like, okay, he's a little bit, he wants to call me all the time. He always want to be on the phone. Eighth grade, it's like, oh, he's pressuring me for physical stuff. Ninth grade, I went to a different school. So it was like, hey, I heard this about you. I heard this about you. Who is this dude? And I'm like, what are you even talking about? And then 10th grade, we go to the same school again. So now he's like over a little bit more often. And then that last time, like I said, I found that those messages came down because now I got proof. So I
Mm-hmm.
come downstairs, throw the phone at his head. I get the boxing him, whatever. I don't condone that or whatever, but it was just like I was young and I was fed up. So yeah, I go down there to do that. My aunt comes downstairs. She's like, "What's going on?" And my mama come downstairs. I tell her what happened, and my mom was like, and at this time it's probably like 9 o'clock at night. So my mom was like, "Okay, I'm gonna call his mom." Call his mom up, and she's like, okay, I'll go get him. Like, she did what? She hit him. I'm coming, right? This lady didn't show up until 12 in the morning. So from 9 to 12 in the morning, he's sitting in the living room on my couch, and I'm sitting in the kitchen on the phone with like one of my male friends, and on purpose too. Like, I called this guy just so that he could, I don't know, maybe I don't know why I did that, but I'm just like, I don't ever get to talk to you guys because of this guy. So now that me and him are done, hey, what's up? And I want him to know that I'm talking to y'all. So he's texting me like, come here, come here. And I'm like, you'll never see me again. Like, after this night, this 10th grade night, mind you, I'm 28 now. So anyway, he leaves, his mama come finally get him or whatever. And then from 11th to 12th grade, it'd be like, he'd hit me up like, hey, we could just be friends. And I'd be like, okay, it's been a minute. So what's up with you? And he'd be like, nothing, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing. And he'd be like, so you're just doing nothing? So you're not doing nothing at all. You're just sitting there and I'm like, oh, here you go again with this controlling, trying to get all over my, so I cut him off again. Now, present time, like, I guess the last time he's seen me physically was like 10th grade that night in my house.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just been like, I don't have him on social media or nothing. He's been like trying to get access through my family members. So like, just not even 2 months ago, I'm on my cousin's Facebook, and in her comments, it's like, you dress good, unlike your cousin. Like, what are you like? It's been so long, and you will never have access to me again.
That
So
is,
why are you trying to antagonize me through my family members?
oh my
And
goodness.
it'd be like, ask her
What
if
is
she wants
what
my
did
number.
your mother say though? Like, how did she feel about all of this? Did you open up to her about it?
Oh, see, I guess once I finally told, because it was mainly like my grandma. Okay, so one day my grandma was talking to about my cousin's boyfriend, like, oh, he's so disrespectful, he's so this, he's so that. What about Erica's ex? Like, he at least he used to speak. And I just busted out, well, he choked me. And my mom and my granny was just like, what? Like, why didn't you tell us? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you could have said something. And like, part of me was like, oh, I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, and then the other part of me was like, I mean, when he was asking to come over and I was saying no, 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 like, don't let him come and all this
Mm-hmm.
other stuff, when I was being like my whole mood would change when he would walk in the house. It's just like, part of me was like, y'all didn't notice that,
Right.
y'all didn't see that.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like thinking maybe like moody teenager or whatever, whatever. I don't know what she's mad at. Whole time I'm like, every time this boy walk in this house that I didn't ask if he could come,
Mm-hmm.
I change.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, once they find out, they like, basically my aunt's house that we were at that night, she knew what happened, and she like invited him up to the room, tell me what happened, like, what's wrong with you, like consoling him. And then even after this whole like, I went no contact, all this other stuff, it'd be every now and then I'd see her like post a Facebook picture, and it'd be like her and him, oh, I just saw him at the gas station or something like that. But it's like, she tends to do that, like all of our like exes and stuff. She like, oh, how was so and so, and I just saw him, and oh, he's so this, and I'm like, girl, he was abusive.
Oh,
Like,
the
why
auntie.
do you still care? Yeah, my auntie girl. There's a million stories about that, but it's
Wow.
just, it was crazy. The last time he ever texted me. This is before I got married. So my or he Snapchat me because he didn't have my number or nothing. So my husband is Muslim, and I'm Muslim as well. I wasn't then, but I am now. So
Mm-hmm.
he messaged me on Snapchat. I think I posted a picture of us. He messaged me on Snapchat how many wives he got, and I was like, just one, me, and blocked him, and that was the end of it. So it's like it kind of seems like ever since then he's been trying to weasel in and see, how I'm doing or what I'm up to. But like little does he know, I will like you'll never be able to speak to me again. And then like back to his mama not coming until like 12 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think a lot of this stems from. Whenever like me and him would be cool, laughing, joking, and then the next minute we'd be beefing because he'd say something weird.
Mm-hmm.
And one night his mama was like, you see, she was like, this man I'm with now? She was like, you need to be with him because like we were like young. So she's like, you need to be with a man who can support you. And she's saying this in front of her son. She's like, you think the man that I'm with now, you think I want to have kids by him? You think I want to be with him? She's like, but do you know where this purse came from? And I'm like, so here his mama is in front of him telling me that I need to have a man that's gonna be able to take care of me, and then I need to have a man that, I'm gonna be with. So already you're like this boy, my ex, is programmed to already believe that like women are gonna have multiple guys that they with,
Because
because his mama is like
I, tr-
telling
I
me that
tried
straight to my face.
I tried to tell the girls that a lot of these men are mad not at us, they're mad at their mother and how
Heck
they
yeah.
witnessed how they treated men as
Mm-hmm.
disposable or as they just used them for money or used them for just
Right.
different things, and then they would ditch that guy and then get another guy, then get another guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where his control issues come in. And that's crazy. I'm Thank you for sharing your story. I'm gonna move on to the next caller, but thank you for sharing
Mm-hmm.
your story because your story does highlight signs that parents can look for if their teenage daughter is dating or even if their teenage son is dating, so that there could be
Mm-hmm.
a healthier dynamic, even if a conversation needs to be had. But then also, your story is also enlightening regarding how he picked up those controlling habits because of his mother and the
Mm-hmm.
things that he watched his mother do. So, thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Have a nice one.
Bye.
Bye bye. That's crazy. Okay, Erica, you're back.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, I remember where I left off. Basically, he was comparing me to his exes and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
then he would sit there and try to tear down the very things that he liked about me when he met me. So
Mm-hmm.
my point, it doesn't take me
Well,
long.
okay,
I'm a
wait.
believer.
Let me
I'm sorry,
let
what
me
you say?
let me refresh the chat for a sec.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we
sorry.
left off. What I remember you saying was that when he would compare you to the exes, he would always talk about how women would let themselves go, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So when he
But
would bring up
then,
exes, he would complain about, women from my past. I've dated them or I've been in with them and they let themselves go. So then he gets with a woman that keeps herself up. Now get back to where.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, so he gets with me, I keep myself up, but then he's trying to unravel that. Like, I don't want you to, wear makeup, or I don't want you to do your nails, or I like your natural nails and things like that. And I'm like, well, I do it for me, first of all. Like, this is my upkeep. This is the way I like it, so I do it for me. And then it would go down to my dressing. Like, I would want you more covered up, or if we're out and I'm looking around, he would say like, "Oh, what are you looking at?" He would look to see what I'm looking at. He would always think that my gaze is at another man or
Mhm.
something like that. So and I got out of there quickly because I know that those things are red flags. They are leading to something more sinister, whether it's to break you down. Yeah, with him, I found that it was to humble me. Like, he knew that
Mm.
I took pride in the way that I looked. He knew that I took pride in like having my hair done and being in the gym and stuff like that. So he wanted to humble me by getting me to stop, doing those things.
Mhm.
But some guys, they like to see how far they can go. So if they see that you'll alter your look for them, then okay, then I can isolate her as well. And then if I can isolate her, then I can start to abuse her. And then once I can abuse her long enough, then I can unalive her. So I want women to take that from this live stream as well, that if they are trying to, it might be small, but it can lead to something so much deeper, so much more dangerous. And yeah, that's basically it. A lot of guys, they want to siphon your energy. So that's what they take. That's why they go towards a woman who keeps herself up or who is in the gym and stuff like that, because they know that she's putting in work to keep herself up, whether it's going to work, financially, putting in work in the gym, all of that. They know that they can siphon that energy from her. And that's why they
So
go for women that look like that.
now I have to ask because I'm kind of on the fence with this, but based off of your
No.
experience when it comes to Cash Doll, do you think we're witnessing a snowball effect?
Yes, I do think we're witnessing a snowball effect only because there was a post that she made recently. I don't remember verbatim what she wrote, but I
Mhm.
know it was like a joke she put in there, like, "Oh, he's my headache" or something like that. Jokes like that, I don't think they're surface level. I think that it's more a joke like that. A cousin of mine made, and he was abusive. He was physically abusive. I'm not saying that's what he's doing,
Mhm.
but when they say like, "Oh, you're my headache," or like even Tamar and Vince, she had that song, "You're my Monday and my Friday," meaning like you get on my nerves, but I still love you. And look at them now, like they had they
Mm.
had so much going on, and now they're not even together. So I feel like if you gotta mention how they get on your nerves when you're mentioning them at all,
Mhm.
then it might be something a little bit deeper.
Girl, you got me convinced
Like,
over here. I don't know. You your side now. Because I really was.
but
I was like,
yeah,
well, I think it's the wording and how she said it in her interview. But she has been more natural and barefaced lately, but she's kind of always been like that. She always had like a healthy medium. Honestly, only time will tell. Only time
yeah,
will seriously tell. Because we already know how it
yeah,
goes. The girls stop releasing music, they stop doing the normal things that they typically do, like Cardi B. We didn't get an album, Halle Bailey.
exactly.
We always saw some major shifts happening that were pretty drastic and pretty fast. And like I said, I trust it when it's a transitional, slow, like I don't know, like evolution change. But when it's fast and overnight, it comes across like maybe it is control or it's force or something like that. So only time will tell, but girl, you got me convinced. I can't lie. You got me convinced over here. For sure. Are you still there? Caller, are you still there? Oh no, I think we lost her. Okay, I'm gonna have to drop the call. Girl, hold on. Before I let y'all go, Love Island just put out their video. Hold on. The premiere for tonight's episode. The preview. I'm sorry, the preview. Hold on, let me turn off my echo. Y'all can hear the audio. Listen, low key, I can't wait for it to be over either. Okay, as long as Nickel Landrion, as long as they win, I'm cool. But I'm not gonna lie, I did not know what I was signing up for. I did not know it was gonna be 30 episodes, 36 episodes. Why didn't y'all tell me? This was like a major investment as far as like content creating, because I had no idea it was so many damn episodes. I thought it was like Love is Blind. It's gonna be like I don't know, like 12 episodes or something like that, 15 episodes. I did not know it was 36. Y'all could have told me. I mean, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This episode, it doesn't seem like there's much going on. It doesn't seem much is happening. Right. I don't know, y'all. This giving a boring episode. I ain't gonna lie. Just based off of the preview, it's giving boring. It's giving a boring episode. So, what episode are we on? I think we're episode 33. It may be one of those situations where I'm not gonna update you the next day. I may have to watch 2 episodes or 3 episodes if it's not as entertaining. So we'll just have to see. But I don't know. The preview is I mean, it's okay. It's all right. All right. So I don't know. I mean, it's cool. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and let me know what you think down below. Like, do you think this is a red flag for Kash Doll? Are we watching a snowball effect? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm also gonna watch the chat box back to see what your opinion is if you've already left one, and I'll catch you in my next one. Please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you, and thank you to everyone that came up that chatted with me. Y'all story times were gagged. I was gagged. It gave gags. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day.